Hi guys, we're going to get started with a new lesson based off an artist named Gustav Klimt. Let's take a look at the Tree of Life by Gustav Klimt. This is artwork that he created, and it's one of my favorite artworks. It's not my most favorite, but I really like this one, and it was created a long time ago, but it has a lot of modern style, which means it's artwork that looks kind of like something you'd see maybe at a museum today. So I really like what he did with his colors, and he's got some spirals in here which are really neat, and he's got a lot of neat designs where he did circles inside of circles, and there's really some neat things going on here with design as well. And also he used a lot of gold paint in his work. Today what we're going to try to do is we're going to decorate a paper, a piece of brown paper, and we're going to then turn that paper next art class into a three-dimensional sculpture of a tree. Now, one thing you got to know on this project is it's not a realistic tree. It's kind of a realistic tree, but it's a little different. We use a little thing called embellishment. We take something and we make it a little bit different and decoration and maybe a little bit more like fantasy, something that's not really real. So I'm going to show you today how to get started with the first part. You're going to take a piece of brown paper and you're going to be decorating this picture plane here with a bunch of Klimt designs. So if you look at his, we're going to maybe use a few things from his work, maybe starting off with some of our oil pastels. What I like to do is a thing called concentric circles. So I might come on with one color. It really doesn't matter for this project what colors you use, but it is good to maybe start off with some type of pattern. So I'm going to just do a bunch of red circles and pressing pretty hard, getting those solid, almost like polka dots all over the sheet of paper. Okay, we're just kind of decorating it here today. Maybe after that I do another red one around it, maybe a few of them. Maybe I don't want them all to be the same, so maybe I just do maybe like half of them almost. Let's do that one. Okay. Let's go into a different color. Maybe I use another color and I'm going to put another circle around that one. Another circle here. Maybe I do it here. As long as you stick to the same type of pattern, it should look pretty good and pretty interesting. Maybe do a few more here. Okay, maybe I'll go into blue now. Again, this is just decorating the background. You won't see all of these in the end. You'll probably see parts of them because we are going to be cutting them up. And maybe there. So you just keep doing circles. They get bigger and bigger as you work. Maybe a green now for the next round. Once you feel like you have a good amount of space filled up with these concentric circles, and then we can get into some other designs. You could do other work in there too, lines in there, but I'm going to keep it like this for now. Once you're done with the oil pastels, the last part is to do some gold paint. Okay? Gold paint's kind of nice. It really shimmers on your work, and you'll notice in the light how it hits it. You'll see a little bit of like a sparkle to it almost. Okay? Next I have to think about where I'm going to put the gold paint on my work. I could do dots around here. Maybe I do dots in the middle of my circles. That looks good. Kind of adds to the whole look of the red. Gives it a little shine there. And I could even add, maybe another circle in some of the middle ones here. Definitely adds to the sparkle there. Klimt really liked to use gold paint in his work. His dad worked as a goldsmith, and he had some of the gold leaf, they call it, and he would add gold on a bunch of different things with his work as well. So he got a lot of his ideas from his dad and using that gold paint. Okay. You could go in the background too. You could even do other dots around the work. Again, we're just kind of decorating it as we go. Okay. And Whatever you do, don't just paint the whole area in gold. We won't want to do that. That's going to take up a lot of our gold paint. And I only have one bottle of our gold paint to go around, so we don't want to just paint the whole thing. But you can do decorations around your work, but again, don't just paint the whole area in. Okay? Alright. And I think that's probably the right amount of gold that I probably should use right there. Okay? Alright, these go, make sure your name's on it, and should be on the back side, and make sure that gets onto the drying rack. Alright, for the second part, you should have your work. I'm going to show you on this one. Your artwork should be on this side. This is just a blank one. I can't use this one right now because it's wet. But I'm going to turn it over. And on the back side where it's blank, you might have your name kind of in the corner. We're going to draw a very important line that we're going to use to make our 3D tree. So right here I have an example that I did the other day. And I really like how it turned out. I'm going to show you how to get started and put that together. I'm going to use a white pastel. You guys can use just a pencil, that's okay, but I'm going to use a white pastel so you guys can see where this important line goes. On the left side, you're going to put a dot about this far up and make sure that so this will be the trunk of the tree, so I like to do it probably about right there because I want this part to be the upper part. And then just a little bit off of the top, about right over in here, if you can see that. I'm going to put another dot. So I'm not touching the top, I'm coming down just a little bit right there. Next, I'm going to draw a line that connects them. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but try to get it fairly straight. Okay? It's not a curvy line. After that, I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to use the scissors now, and I'm going to try to do a bunch of slits. Okay? Starting on the top, and I'm going to cut to that line you just drew. I'm spreading it out different widths as I go. I like to keep the ones here at the top a little bit closer, and then as I get down towards the bottom here, I'm going to start spreading out my cuts, having a little bit more wide. That's going to make the branches a little bit thicker as they get towards the base. And you'll understand that as I get done with this cutting part here at the end. There we go. Should look like this. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shorter side and I'm going to start rolling it. So I take it here on the bottom and I'm going to roll it right here like you're rolling up a sleeping bag. And I'm rolling it, keeping it fairly tight. And I get all the way to the end. Okay, the artwork should be on the outside here. This is just a blank one. At the end here, you're going to take a glue stick and you're going to be doing a little gluing right there. So it might be good to have your glue stick ready before you begin so you can get that out. So you put just a little layer of glue from this line down to the bottom and then you're going to press it together. Okay. You might want to check to see if it can stand up at first because that's going to be important as well. Okay, and then I just hold that, probably count to 20 or 30 for this one since it's going to be a tight fold and we're going to need that to stay together. And it looks like that can stand and it should look something like that. For the next part you're going to be taking a pencil and you're going to be rolling out these strips now. So you take it around here and you're going to roll it down all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to get those curly parts just like Klimt had in his trees. If you look there right there, that's very similar. And notice how some go up and some go down. So if you want some to go up, you just start on the other side here and you twist it into the tree. And that'll give a nice look to it, or a different look, I guess. See how that one goes in? You can kind of play around with that and push them out. And what you're going to do is you're going to go all around. You're trying to get each one to curl and show up on there. Okay, I'm going to set this to the side. You can work on that. All right, you guys are going to work on that. Here's one that I already did with a little bit darker. The last step is to take pieces of paper, and you're going to do some more embellishments. You could take some oil pastels, and you can do more concentric circles, and then you're going to cut those out. And you could glue them onto the branches to add those embellishments. Embellishments. Okay, and then we just press it on there with the glue stick, and it should stick on there pretty good. And there you go. You're going to have a nice, beautiful tree of life. You could think of other embellishments too. Like this one even has like a bird in it. You could do something like that if you'd like to. Or just add a lot of embellishments to your work. Okay? Alright, good luck with your project, guys.